Hey, good morning. So I'm craving a breakfast sandwich this morning, so I'm going to make some keto bread. This is actually 90-second mug bread, I think it's called. I'm not using the recipe, I just know it by heart now. It's one egg, about a tablespoon of butter, 30 grams of almond flour, which is about that much, and I think it's a teaspoon of baking powder. About like that. You just mix it all together real good and pop it in the microwave for 90 seconds. Alright, so this is close to the final product. I got my bread here. I cut it in half. Actually, before I microwaved it, I put some everything bagel seasoning on it. I sliced it in half, then I toasted it in the toaster. I got two organic sausage patties. I'm going to put some avocado mayonnaise on the bread. I'll put the egg down. Eggs, they're tiny. I used two on the sandwich and make a sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich. So it should be pretty good. So for lunch, we got Factor 75 beef bolognese, I think it's pronounced. It's got portobello mushrooms in it. I don't know what type of sauce that is. I'm assuming it's like a tomato. Looks like a tomato vodka sauce and zucchini. I also ate some pistachio or some nuts before this, macadamia nuts. Hey, good evening. So tonight's Thursday night. Tomorrow will be a weight check-in. So when I wake up tomorrow morning, I will weigh myself and also measure around my waist. Speaking of measuring, I did some googling today, and I didn't realize this, but if you lose I found two results on Google. The minimum was 4 pounds to 8 pounds. So take the average 6 pounds. So let's say for every 6 pounds you lose a half inch from your waist. So I think that's pretty cool. So I did some calculating, and I think probably the weight I need to be near, which is around 200 pounds, would put my waist at 30 inches. I'm pretty sure that was the calculation, but it seems pretty accurate. Um, Years ago, well, it was probably early 2000s. I think it was down to like 198, and I can remember how small my waist was. It felt real small. I think it was around like 29 or 30 inches, so it's pretty accurate. So anyway, today I think I went to the gym earlier this week, but I forgot to mention it. But tonight I went to the gym. I did 30 minutes cardio on the elliptical. Well, it might actually be called an arc trainer. Not too sure what the difference is. I think the movement is a little different. But did that for 30 minutes, and then I did legs. So I did a leg press. I did a leg curl. Did a leg extension. And on the leg press, I also did calves, and I did squats with 20-pound, 25-pound weights in my hand. So I did that, and I felt pretty good afterwards. I feel good now. But like I said, I'm not trying. I do want to gain muscle because when you're not working out, muscle burns fat. Um, so I do want to gain muscle, but I'm not trying to kill myself in the gym. At least not right now. I think in the future that may change, but I think it's a bad idea to start. I mean, I haven't really started the keto diet. I've been doing it now for 2 or 3 weeks, maybe a month. But it's still the beginning stages, so you don't want to kill yourself with changing your diet and also killing yourself in the gym. It's just not a good combination. I think it's better to just take it slow. I do want to improve my cardiovascular because I use a CPAP machine at night, and I think maybe it causes this sensation like I can't breathe in deep enough. So I'm not too sure if that's from the CPAP or from my weight, or maybe a combination of both. So I want to work on that. But anyway, something else I wanted to mention was I saw an ad on Facebook tonight for, I think it was that Doctor Love. He had a late night show on MTV. He was selling some sort of product, and like he was ragging on low carb and fasting. He referred to fasting as starving yourself. And I've heard people say that before too. Oh, you're starving yourself to lose weight. But what really is starving yourself? If you, well, I asked ChatGPT AI, and starving yourself is when you lack. It's when you make yourself suffer, and it's when you lack nutrients, and eventually leads to death. So what we're doing by fasting is not starving ourselves. What we're doing by fasting is we are choosing a specific time to not eat. So it gives our body time to burn the stored fat. We're still feeding ourselves, we're still getting the nutrients that we require. Even, I'm not too sure about this, but even if you didn't eat for a long, prolonged time, I think the energy that your body has stored would still be sufficient for you to survive. Not really too sure how that would affect your organs, but that's a different story. So, if someone talks to you about fasting in a negative connotation, just ignore it. So I let them think what they want to. To me, it makes sense to fast and allow your body to burn what's stored. And if you want to lose weight, why are you in that ad by that doctor I was just talking about? It said, eat this. I don't know what it was. It was like, it looked like a cheese curl. I don't know what it was. Maybe a carrot. But anyway, how much sense does it make to eat something to lose weight? That just makes no sense to me. So I think when you're losing weight, do what's logical to you. There's so many different diets and people with opinions, like what we talked about earlier about the calories in versus calories out. There's many opinions about that, even with trainers. So you just got to do what makes sense to you. I think this and also documenting what I'm doing makes sense to me. Um, if you think otherwise, by all means, leave your comments. We'll talk about it. But do what works for you. Um, I was going to talk a little bit about in the past I tried Whole 30 diet. A manager of mine recommended I try it. And Whole 30 was real similar to a clean keto diet, or maybe it was closer to paleo diet. A lot of, I think everything had to be organic and kind of raw foods. I just realized my flash isn't on, so hopefully this isn't too dark. But the thing with Whole 30 is they allow you to eat any amount of fruit that you want. So back when I tried it, I believe I was still on keto, or it might have been kind of slacking at that time. So I tried Whole 30 because my manager wanted me to try it. That was her way of eating, so she wanted me to try it. So I tried it, and it's just I can remember. I think I got like 2 bundles of bananas, and I was eating like I think 3 or 4 bananas in one sitting. And you know, fruit, natural fruit like that, whole fruit has the fiber, so the fiber won't allow your body to digest all of the sugar content in the fruit. But for me, it was kind of like a gateway drug. It's fructose affects your glucose levels in your body the same way as processed sugar does. So it spikes your sugar, and when that happens, when it drops, you crave more sugar. So for me, it was bad because it tapped into those cravings, and I fell off the Whole 30, and I would start eating the processed junk food again with all the sugar. I used to love eating the tasty cakes, the processed chocolate cupcakes. So, but if you can control yourself and control your cravings, then by all means do it. Fruit is healthy, as in there's nutrients in the fruit, but you can also get your nutrients in other foods that are low carb. So we're trying to lose weight here. So I don't recommend eating fruit. I will eat berries, usually strawberries. I'm not a big fan of blueberry, kind of bland. I like red raspberries. So I'll eat those, and they're typically pretty low carb. But again, that just kind of leads to you craving more sugar. Um, Even you using artificial sugars, like I'll use monk fruit extract in drinks to sweeten it, and it's low carb, and I'm pretty sure there's studies of it not affecting your blood levels or your glucose levels in your blood, but still, it's going to trigger that response in your mind of, oh, it's sugar, I want more sugar. So you just have to be careful of that. But, so anyway, enough about that. So, alright, I'll see you back tomorrow morning. I'm excited to weigh in. I feel like today I feel like it's a weird feeling, but like in my stomach it just feels empty, kind of like it's not bloated. I like that feeling. So to me it makes me think that I've lost some weight, but we'll see tomorrow morning. All right, thanks for checking out the video.